Ellie's been letting herself go. I mean, look at her. She wobbles. You know, you wobble a bit these days. She's moving things around in the kitchen, taking things from here and putting them over there. Only when I move, she says. You should try that. Moving, I mean. I take a sip of wine. Maybe if you moved a little faster, you wouldn't wobble quite so much. Like round a running track once or twice a week. She doesn't look at me. Busy moving these things from here to there. Like you mean? Been running lately? Look at my svelte figure, woman. Don't need to run. I go easy on the chocolate cakes. Well, chocolate cakes are my consolation for not getting pissed every night. I take an ostentatious gulp of wine, but she's still not looking at me. Are you casting aspersions? Warning, not aspersions. Alcoholism is boring. Or you find me boring now? What do you mean, now? Go on. I want out. It's not that I no longer care for her, but when I dim the bathroom light and turn slightly to the left, the mirror shows me that I've still got it. A quick wit, too. Frighteningly funny and handsome as hell. I'm depriving womanhood of sticking to my vows. So I've come up with a plan. Take off my wedding ring and drive around the country for a couple of months. Turn up in small towns pretending to be a single writer on the hunt for inspiration. Nail all the young small town girls I neglected to nail when I was young. New neighbours are moving in. Young. Newlyweds? No, unlikely. Unless that 4-year-old boy is someone's little brother. There's boxes on the lawn, and removal men do all the heavy work. The new neighbours run in and out of the house, laughing excitedly. They seem overjoyed to be here. Here, Rosebank Avenue. I mean, well, I suppose the sun is shining this morning. They're probably telling each other that it's a good omen and that bodes well. Things like that. I mean, she's a shapely young thing. Irritating voice though. Like a chipmunk from that movie. He clearly adores her. Today, on this auspicious summer morning. And why not? I'm halfway to adoring her myself. But that figure will soon change, but that voice will stay exactly the same. You used to laugh at my jokes. They used to be funny. But they're the same jokes. Really? Maybe it's me that's changed then. 10 years is a long time. That's never 10 years, is it? Happy anniversary to you too. Come here, see this. I find Ellie in the living room, looking out the window. She's wearing a sweet smile that can't possibly be for me. The boy is running around the neighbour's garden, absorbed in some military fantasy. Oh, it's a child playing next door. I thought we'd won the lottery or something. No dear, seems it's the neighbours that won the lottery. We watch him play. Look at his self-absorption. How I envy it. I need at least half a bottle to achieve that level of interest in anything. Do you think his parents are watching him too? She sounds dreamy. Or are they used to it? I imagine his parents are walking around in a permanent state of exhaustion, probably not conscious enough to be described as watching anything. But look how serious his expression is. Such a vivid imagination. Shame it won't last. Mine didn't. It's as if he can actually see other people with him. Yet, kids don't get lonely. That comes later. His parents must be so happy. Must be. She looks at me with what appears to be a sad kind of love. You were like a little boy when we first met, she said. So playful. I'm still playful, I say. And then I'm lost for words. My instinct is to tell her how beautiful she looks when she's not bitching at me. I used to say things like that to her, but those were the old days. Repetition dulls, doesn't it? You say something meaningful too often, and the words lose their power. So you stop saying it. The future is silence. But why do you have to grow up? She's still smiling sadly. I imagine her smiling like that while saying, "Oh, it was a wonderful service. He would have loved it like that way." It's only my body that's old, in my mind, and not forgetting my soul. Everything else remains bright-eyed and innocent. I'm thinking of quitting my job, taking a couple of months off. Really? You want to devote more time to drinking? Well, you know how cool I look nursing my glass of red. Sure, it really sets off your eye. Nice. Anyway, what will you do? A little more housework, I presume? I wouldn't dream of trespassing. Actually, I thought I would take a trip. You know, I've seen the pyramids and the Great Wall of China, but there are a lot of places in Britain I've never visited. Really? There can't be many pubs that you've not visited yet, though, can there? The neighbours hold a housewarming party. Guest suite in the front door and out the back garden, and we can hear their conversations through our open window. I attempt to watch 24 on DVD, but the goings-on next door are too distracting, so I turn it off. And Ellie looks up from her book. "No glass of wine tonight?" I indicate next door. I wasn't invited. "I'll have one with you." I pour 2 glasses of white, and I sit on the sofa, and Ellie sits on the armchair opposite. "Are you serious about taking that trip?" "Sure." She looks at her glass. "I'm not invited?" "Well, sure, it's just your work, you know. You want to come?" "No, you're right. I have to work. It's just that we haven't been travelling together for 3 years." "Well, after China, you said you couldn't stand to meet any more American tourists." I smile. "Remember the one who expressed surprise that the Great Wall of China had stood for so long without being blown over?" That was the highlight of the whole trip. Laughter from the neighbour's garden, and I mentally categorise the new neighbours and their friends as laugh easily types, which means Ellie and I will probably get on well enough with them without ever having to become close friends. Suits me. If they were friends, they would always be calling round, wouldn't they? I realise we have both been staring into our glasses, and I have the sudden urge to get up and hug Ellie. But spontaneous hugs are out of fashion in our house. Instead, I ask, "Have you met them yet, the neighbours?" Briefly, they seem happy. I welcomed them to the street, but somehow it felt as though it ought to be them who were welcoming me. "You say the smartest thing. Pity no one but me is smart enough to understand you." Old joke. Smile response achieved. Urge to hug subdued, if not completely extinguished. I turn 24 back on. After a few minutes, Ellie joins me on the sofa, and we clink glasses. "Poor Jack Bauer," she says. "Poor Jack?" "Sure, I know you want to be him, but..." "I am him, darling." "Right, I know you want to be him, but really, his life is a constant misery." I told you I was him. I put my arm around her and watched Jack Bauer as he struggles to resolve yet another impossible dilemma. I like to make Ellie laugh in the morning. Morning is like Halloween. It's the time of day when we are most vulnerable to evil spirits. The sound of Ellie's laughter frightens them away. "Damn! I forgot to get coffee." I throw a newspaper across the table. "Scan this for good news, would you? I'd do it myself, but I have to drive in 10 minutes and I don't want to be blinded by tears, might cause an accident." "You can cry when you get there, eh?" "Yep, as usual." Ellie jabs at the front page with her finger. "Hey, You're not going to believe this, but I found something positive already. It seems the government's new mission is to make the nation happier. What? Wasn't that always their mission? I guess not. Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? She reads, the Prime Minister said it's time we admitted that there's more to life than money, and it's time we focused not just on GDP, but on GWB, general well-being. Good Lord. This is a wonderful news, eh? What time did the post get here? 8:30? Are you expecting something? Package from the Prime Minister. Our happiness allowance. Absolutely. A crate of Pinot Noir for me and a little bundle of joy for you. I regret saying it even before I finished the sentence. Maybe even before I started saying it. Ellie doesn't look up from her newspaper, nor does her smile falter, but her silence is eloquent. Somewhere in my mind, the evil spirits of the morning... Back again. Somewhere in my mind, the evil spirits of morning concoct a potentially catastrophic joke about a pregnant silence. But my prefrontal cortex mounts a sabotage operation before it can be deployed. I experience a familiar sinking feeling in my stomach. Once again, I've failed in my simple marital duty to keep my wife in good spirits. It occurs to me to apologise, but I dismiss the idea. An apology would merely confirm that the issue is real, and we don't want that. Not with a day of work ahead and no coffee in the house. I get up and I kiss the top of her head. Have a lovely day, gorgeous. She mumbles something and touches my hand, tries to smile. As I leave the house, I'm thinking that in 12 years together, we've never had a real argument, with raised voices and saying terrible things in the heat of the moment and all that. And that has nothing to do with me, everything to do with her. The skies open in the evening, just as I arrive home. Dinner is subdued, and the rain hammers against the kitchen window. I don't know if she's still thinking about what I said this morning. Maybe she's forgotten all about it, but I haven't. My sense of failure imbues everything. The house seems small because I never became rich. My body seems frail because I never joined a gym. And my chicken stir-fry seems bland because the first time I cooked for her, I was a novice chef, and years later, I still am. I want out. After dinner, Ellie suggests a glass of wine, and I raise my eyebrows. And you turn it into me? Maybe I should get stuck into the chocolate cake. Well, this might be the last evening we spend together for a while. It might. Aren't we going on a trip? Yes, but I hadn't decided when. Really? All through dinner you had this, I just can't take any more expression on your face, so I assumed you'd be leaving this weekend. She's acting as if this is all perfectly okay with her. Is it? Can that be true? Maybe you're right. Maybe I should go tomorrow. She smiles broadly. I can't see any hurt or anxiety in that smile at all. After 12 years, can she really still hide things from me? What will you do when I'm gone? Oh, I go to a lot of parties, I suppose. Really? You've never been to a party in your life? No need. Living with you is party enough. Right, a funeral party. She laughs, and I know at least that her laughter is genuine, if not unambiguously happy. I get up early while Ellie is still asleep. The rain is on again. Not good weather for driving. I feel excited about getting away. A growing sense of freedom underneath this, a tiny doubt, guilt. Should I be leaving Ellie like this? But she's not a child, and although she would never say it, she needs time away from me too. I pack a bag in 5 minutes, enjoying the ritual and also the fact of its brevity, feeling that old male pride. I have